Hey everyone, let's talk VFX. When it comes to VFX, the general rule of thumb is that it's meant to actually bolster or enhance storytelling beats in a film. They sell the shots more by allowing filmmakers to integrate assets into their scenes seamlessly or remove elements that detract from the overall story. Modern cinema has more or less come to a place where VFX is an integral part of most productions, simply because of the writing that modern cinema dictates. From comic-to-screen adaptations of superhero stories, zombie flicks, high-speed car chases, or high-impact action scenes, creators tend to rely on VFX in post-production to fill in the gaps that are either impossible to capture in camera in real time, or to assemble, remove, or alter elements in the recorded final footage. The VFX teams that work behind the scenes on big budget films can be as small as 8 to 10 people and can see as many as over 200 persons working under the VFX category. The scale of the project and the contents of the written and storyboarded material all work together to help indicate what kind of effects may be needed, the types of sub-departments along with its relevant artists and technicians, and how the overall post-production process would flow in order to meet those needs and accomplish the visuals as the story demands. But make no mistake, with the advancing of computing and visual production technology, coupled with the fact that the types of stories being told, being produced, require greater realism, dynamic simulation, complex creature animations, and to be created in a relatively quick turnaround time, VFX is extremely expensive. This is true especially in Hollywood, where the release date typically would dictate the pace of the production. The productions usually have a lengthy checkpoint process in the various chains of command in the respective departments. They need to move productions along quickly, in addition to sometimes what can be considered complete overhauls or changes in the works are just two of the factors that skyrocket the cost of visual effects productions and the productions as a whole. The reality is often a gamble for many larger studios and the directors that work with them. This is where we can often see the effects of either a good VFX producer or a not so great VFX producer. The ability of the VFX producer to work with the director's vision while balancing the demands of the studio and produce high-end visuals through working with and managing a team often large enough, but more importantly skilled enough to undertake the many tasks that comprise the completed shots and sequences that we see on our screens. That is the real challenge. Building and financing these teams who have to operate on what can essentially be considered express production speeds consumes a significant part of the overall production budget. And so typically this will fall under heavy scrutiny from pitch to press release. Execs tend to want to minimize where VFX might be needed for the sake of sparing the budget, unless they see that the story quite naturally would need the assistance of digital visual effects to sell it big and bring in even greater returns. The cost is usually a factor that is heavily considered when creating plans for a film. And sometimes in order to maximize the resources being poured into the FX department, films can often end up overdressed with VFX to the point that it overpowers and detracts from the main story it was intended to bolster. And that's not the point of it all. With careful decision making, a generous budget, a skillful team led by competent and senior technicians and artists, VFX has a guaranteed home in every film today. Whether it's to help remove unwanted artifacts, alter the environment, clear up an actor's skin, change the color of their features, composite creatures, or mobilize armies, the medium is an ever-evolving umbrella of visual storytelling techniques that will continue to act as both the launching pad as well as the playing field of the director's mind beyond or outside of the camera. I just want to make a note, however, that even though VFX typically would fall in the post-production phase of the entire production pipeline, the recent technologies or recent development in technology has allowed for VFX to be done in real time on the production stage. So while production is going on in camera, there are software and technologies and technicians to operate these pieces of software that can help begin to block out core elements in the VFX phase of things in the middle of the production that speeds up and expedites the need for waiting to see the visuals in the post-production process. Meaning, for example, in the Jungle Book in Mowgli, they were able to film the actor moving through environments while having other stand-in actors wearing green and blue suits fill the spaces of other animals or creatures that he would be interacting with. Not only this, but the environment was created in real time or projected in real time for the production team to be able to see the actor moving through the environment, looking at the lighting, and being able to make adjustments in real time. While this is in fact possible and is being adopted and adapted to more and more productions as time goes on, this also affects the overall costs, and as a result still falls under heavy scrutiny and the final decisions of the executive team or of the production team or the persons financing production. VFX, however, isn't just reserved for the Hollywood elite with the gargantuan budgets and access to the incredible machinery and the manpower to use it. No, thankfully, in today's age of digital exploration and conveniently accessible digital VFX production tools, you can create your own VFX for your independent films right in your home or small studio. Knowing the techniques to use in indie VFX when rolling on a tight budget can in fact be a bit of a challenge, and thankfully I have a solution to that. As of this year, 2023, I've started rolling out some of my free online courses through the Digital Academy hosted on the studio's YouTube page, the Digital Compass Creative Studios. The Digital Academy is an online learning platform that provides tutoring and training on the film and animation production process, but with greater focus on post-production and VFX. If you'd like to learn more about how you can use VFX in your indie films today, check out the link below and I'll see you guys there. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope that you were able to learn a thing or three from it. It means a lot that I can share this content with you guys, and I hope to share more with you in the coming weeks and when the short course is released. We'll eventually be talking about AI's role in all of this moving forward and what VFX might look like in the next 3 to 5 years. So if you're interested in learning more, click the link below, and thank you again. This is Kyle Stephen for the Digital Compass and the Digital Academy, reminding you to stay focused, to stay consistent, and remember to follow the compass. Thanks very much, guys.